Yo, what's up? Another comic book review. This time, it's not a floppy. You're gonna love it. Hit it! This is my video for Green Lantern Earth 1 Volume 2. Oh my goodness! It is the best comic book ever. Oh my frickin' goodness. I'm not joking. This is a great comic book. You know what comic books should be? They should be a lot like this. This is a good concept of a comic book. Because comic books tend to screw up sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. This continues off with Green Lantern Volume 1, Earth 1. This continues 3 years after it. Because in that volume, Hal Jordan was the one that found a deceased Green Lantern ring. Green Lantern's ring. And, well, let's just say he takes it for a test drive. After that happened, I can't even talk right now. Basically, after that happened with Hal Jordan taking his ring for a test drive, we got to see all the other Green Lantern Corps. Like, Green Lantern Corps members. And I liked it. The concept of this volume for this Earth is fucking amazing. No joke. Because there is no continuity. Except for the Earth 1 continuity. And that's it. You don't have to follow what happened in Earth 48 or Earth 69 or Earth 69. Get it? Joke right there. You don't have to follow what happened in any of those comic books. In any comic books. Most likely, most likely, if you're reading Green Lantern Earth 1, you don't have to follow these floppies. See, look. You don't have to follow them in order to read and understand what happens. You don't have to follow it. And it's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome and amazing that you don't have to follow any of the continuity rules. You don't have to follow it. Basically, for Green Lantern Earth 1, Volume 1, Hal Jordan takes the deceased Abin Sur's ring and takes it for a test drive. But Abin Sur did not die in vain. No, in that continuity, he died because the Green Lantern power battery was shielded. and protected from all these Manhunters. And in that reality, Hal Jordan and a bunch of other Green Lanterns kicked the crap out of the Manhunters. Basically destroyed them. And in that comic book, we actually got to see what's happening in this comic book. Sorry, this comic graphic novel. Because you guys know, in the main DC universe, you know the Yellow Lantern Corps, followed by Sinestro, and, having all these Quardians making yellow power battery rings. Yeah, remember that? Guess what? Doesn't happen here. Doesn't happen. Yeah, doesn't happen. It's one Guardian making Yellow Lantern batteries. Just one. His name is Krona. Just one. His name is Krona, and I fucking love it. Why, you may ask? Well, because it differs from what we have already known about the Yellow Lanterns. The Yellow Lanterns in the main continuity are all about fear and aggressiveness. In the Earth 1 continuity, this continuity right here, they're just being mind-wiped and coerced to bring fear and aggressiveness and all that. They're not trying to do it inherently. They're not trying to be mindful of their actions. They're being brainwashed, and I fucking love it. It kind of felt like a revamp of the Sinestro Corps. A revamp. I don't know why, it just is. I will show you guys a quick, there it is right there, a quick pick, not too long. Yeah, see that right there? That is the Sinestro Corps War. But on that continuity, they do it to every Green Lantern homeworld. Not just Earth. Not Earth. And the Anti-Monitor is in it. But I'm not going to say that part any further. I'm not going to fine, if you guys want to hear it. Just joking. Yeah, he's basically in it, but he's like not shown as much. There's like a couple of panels in there, but you guys have to read it because I'm not going to explain that part anymore. But yeah, I fucking loved it. And there's a lot of Green Lanterns that do get basically slaughtered. Not gonna say who it is because it's only two that we already know from that comic book. So, yeah, I'm not gonna say it. You guys need to read it in order to understand what's happening here. But I loved the entire comic book. Sorry, graphic novel. When will they understand it's just a frickin' comic book in a hardcover? It's just a hardcover comic book. That's all it is, really. And I loved it. This is what DC Comics should be doing. But they're not. See, this is a huge example of being consistent. Right here. Your Earth 1 DC's Earth 1 continuity is it is consistent. Basically. There's Superman of Earth 1s, 1, 2, and 3 are all consistent. Batman Earth 1, Volume 1 and 2, consistent. Wonder Woman Earth 1 and Volume 2, Volume 1 and Earth... God damn it, I can't think straight. Wonder Woman Earth 1, Volume 1, there we go, and Volume 2, consistent. Teen Titans Earth 1, Volume 1, and Volume 2, consistent! You see what I'm going, DC? You need to be consistent, really. Because you're not making any sense, kind of, in a way, with all these metaphorical and metaphysical changes, you know what I mean? Your metaphysical, metaphorical BS. And I'm using that as an example. Because you guys should not be doing big changes. Because we're popular again. No, you should be doing the exact same thing you are doing with this comic book. And all of your Earth 1 comic books. The only consistent thing that you have ever done, DC, is in the New 52, you had an Earth 2 comic book line. And then after that, after the Convergence event, you had another Earth 2 comic book line. Until DC Rebirth happened. You have had a huge example of being consistent. I gave you 2 examples of what you have done that were considered consistent. But no, you do not want to be consistent. You'd rather make huge changes and piss off your fans. Isn't that it, DC? Because you should be doing what you already are doing with your Earth 1 comic book line, and you should be translating it to your regular comic book line. What the hell, DC? Seriously. Stop canceling your comics. They're going to piss off fanboys. And gee whiz, spoilers, Aquaman 65 canceled. After issue 65. Canceled! Yay! I'm so happy! Actually, I'm not. I'm not happy. Aquaman was my favorite character in all of DC Rebirth, and you have basically slaughtered him. He's done, kaputs. What's next? The Flash? Yeah, you're probably gonna do that too, huh? Before season 7 of The Flash starts? Yeah! You already did it with Supergirl. You already did it with the Terrifics. You basically did everything that you could before this whole thing happened with, with everything that happened in 2018 and 2019 with all the comic book cancellations over there. Heck, Batwoman couldn't even make it until past 25 issues. And she's a lesbian! What can I say? DC's doing great. I'm being sarcastic here. Because I am. I'm being sarcastic. DC should have never had this plan with 5Gs. Should have never had it. Should have never had it. You know why? It was a failed reboot to start. They should have never had it. They should have done what they always do in their Earth 1 continuity, keeping it consistent. Even if there are few changes here and there, they keep it consistent. Oh, and in this book, John Stewart's not a Green Lantern. Neither is Aresia, neither is Sinestro, neither one of them. Basically, all the Green Lanterns except for, well, maybe Hal Jordan, either dead or turned into Yellow Lanterns. I will give you a slack on this, DC, because Earth 1 has its own continuity, and that's okay. It can be different from the main continuity. That's fine. I don't care. But what I do care is not canceling comics because of poor, inconsistent fools. I mean ratings. I mean sales. Yeah, and guess what? Thanks to your cancellations, Supergirl didn't even make it to issue 50! But what's to expect from the great lord of DC Comics? Am I right? Seriously. The only thing that they are good for right now is their Earth 1 continuity. That's it. Because, they're not going to cancel that anytime soon. But yeah, regarding towards this comic book, this comic book is consistent and I love it. Except with a few changes here and there. I love it. I wish I can say the same thing for all DC comic books. Because I love them. I really do. I love them. I love each and every comic book character, even if they are poor or not popular enough to be in sales. I like them. That's what you should be caring for DC, including Mr. Slee. Mr. Slee. That's hilarious right there. Could not help it. I had to put that joke in because he should be caring about customers and not force us into digital comic books, which are expensive. Even more expensive than a fucking comic book copy. I mean a floppy. So, yeah. Although I can say this, I loved that this introduces the multiverse of the main DCU. I'm not going to show you it because it is hinted that this, as we all have known for a couple of years now, for DC, is part of a multiverse. They already just showed it to us in 2020. Yeah. And I love it. Oh, and they hinted, they gave us a hint that Corona in that comic book is from an alternate dimension, and I fucking love it. Like, oh, I love it. They were hinting at DC main continuity, and I fucking love it. And I really hope that Perpetua doesn't give Earth 1 the old skew. Doesn't do that. I really hope that in Dark Knight's death metal, she, trying to think of the word, sorry, that she spares the Earth 1 continuity. I really hope. I'm really hoping, because I do not want to see Perpetua using her army of half human, half Martians to basically kill the entire Earth 1 continuity. Although it could happen, and I would love to see it if it does happen, but I really hope it doesn't. Because I really love Earth 1 and its universe. I fucking love it. Yeah. I love this. I love this comic book. This comic book is fucking awesome. It's awesome. It's basically a comic book fanboy's dream come true. I'm sad to see that Guy Gardner or Kyle Rayner weren't in there, but I'm hoping that they get the Earth 1 treatment at some point. Maybe part 3 or part 4 of, volume 3, volume 4 of the Green Lantern Earth 1 continuity, but who knows? For right now, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Not even joking. This deserves it. It clearly deserves it. And whoever drew all the action figures here, well, I call them action figures, but they're basically superheroes. Whoever drew this needs to have a job at DC, along with Ivan Reyes and what's his name? Along with Ivan Reyes, and a few others. I will say, and a few others. Oh, and Doug Manock is in that list of, for me, for comic books. He's in that list. When I meant to say a few others, he's in there. Because DC, you need to keep him. You need to keep Ivan Reyes. You need to keep, the artist that drew this. You need to keep all of your inkers that have worked with Ivan Reyes and Doug Manock. And you need to keep your inkers at Earth 1 for your Earth 1 comic book line, including this one. Whoever did the inkers for this, you need to keep them. You really do. You cannot afford to be, to be firing them left and right. You can't afford to do that. You just can't. You can't afford to fire any of them because they are what keep your company going. They are what keeps your company in a cash flow. Technically, I know I know you guys don't have it, but they are the ones that actually drive what DC is going for. You need to keep them. So, yeah. This is me signing out. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. And if you guys have the chance to order this online or in your local comic book shop or your local bookstore, I would do that. I would suggest you guys do that because you guys should read this. This is awesome. So, yeah. Peace out.